Hello, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. I am Penguin, and I would like to welcome you to the GSL version of TdgWumBeL, where we will continue to follow the fairy tale story of a Protoss named TdgWumBeL. We have actually cast every single game that TdgWumBeL has played today, with the exception of Game 1 of the series. He is in fact up 1-0 against his Zerg opponent in the top right in the green trunks Pinna. TdgWumBeL, of course, is in the bottom left as the blue Protoss. This is the semifinals. Game 2, it is a best of 3. TdgWumBeL only one game away from going into the finals of this tournament. Pinna has to stage a comeback in order to have us crack at the prize, the grand prize, that is nothing. No, it's qualification for the weekly and bragging rights, and everyone knows bragging rights are lovely. Talking a little bit about the maps, since nothing really specific is happening so far. This is the GSL version, which has no rocks at the third, but for that, it only has one Besting Geyser and only 5 mineral patches, so it's not really... It sort of encourages you to... I mean, if you take a third, you'll want a fourth, because, well, look at this. It's not exactly the most happy mining thing in the world. TdgWumBeL asking for no cheese, no cheese. Doesn't look like any cheese. Pinna putting down a 14 pool. And, TdgWumBeL loves Camille. Hi, Camille. If you're watching, you're cool. I've always said that one of the coolest things in the world is girlfriends who support their boyfriends playing StarCraft. You guys make the esports community world spin round. I'd assume, given the little chatting that's been going on here, TdgWumBeL looks like he cheesed in the last game, but you know what? We love any tactic as long as it works. Bit of friendly banter just sort of finishing up here. He is going to be taking this expansion, looking like a 14 pool, 16 hatch. Yeah, the spawning pool is going to be finishing up right about now. Doesn't quite have enough minerals to get that queen straight away. Instead, he's going to be going for the Overlord, going to be delaying that queen by a little bit. TdgWumBeL, I believe, did see that expansion. Yes, he saw that expansion go up. He's throwing up his own expansion now with his Forge about halfway done, Gateway just starting up as well. The Nexus is... Yeah, actually, it looks like the Nexus is going to go up before the hatchery finishes. Interesting. But, yes, Pinna still has yet to get that queen. He just starts the queen right there. And we're not seeing any gas yet, so he's obviously going to... Oh, there's gas. Making me look like an idiot, Pinna. No, but we're going to see... I'd say he'll probably continue droning pretty hard. He's stolen a gas in the main here to stay alive with that drone, denying any sort of mega gas opening. But the gas just finishing up for TdgWumBeL as well. And this photon cannon is almost done as well, so the wall-off is practically complete. Everything looking very, very good over in the Wumble cam. Pinna lets this finish, so it will not continue scouting. He's getting a queen at his natural. He saturated it with what I assume is a Maynard. Looking at the unit counting station, though, he's 3 behind in the worker supply, which is a little surprising. But I mean, it's not the end of the world just yet. Production tab, yes, that's the button. Yes, so the Zealot is going to come and try to kill off this extractor as fast as possible, because nobody likes you stealing things in their base. He's going to continue chronoing out probes, getting a cybernetics core here, and this, I believe yes, the probe is on hold position, completing the wall off. This Ling will not be able to get in, and that cannon will be very, very nasty to anybody trying to get too close. Warp gate technology being researched, as well as metabolic boost being researched as well. Looks like this extractor is about to go down, and he will then be able to grab his second gas to his heart's desire, which he doesn't do. Anyway, we're not seeing anything on this gas for now, so it looks like he was just getting going for the metabolic boost. 4 extra gas, Pinna. Pinna, you're in Master League. Pinna, that 4 gas could have been 5 minerals. I'm disappointed. Moving right along, I'm kidding. If I were to try to pull drones off gas when I was getting 100, I'd probably have about 180 gas rather than just 104, so he's going to be grabbing an early third. He's opting to take this expansion here, rather than this, which I was talking about earlier, because if you're going for an early third, you want to be able to get minerals, you want to be able to actually mine it for stuff that helps. Whereas this is just not really a very nice expansion. I'm sorry, I don't like this version of the map, as you can probably tell. But Zealot moving out with a probe. He's throwing up a lot more gateways. Gateways numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A 6 gate. 6 gates are very, very, very hard to deal with. I am personally somebody who cries whenever I notice my opponent going 6 gate. He's also going for, it looks like he's going to be going for some sort of timing push with a +1 weapons upgrade as well, which will be very interesting. There is a Roach Warren on the way, and these Lings are going to try to see what exactly is going on. They will see, I think they see that pylon going up. They won't see the pylon, but they will see this pylon. And they will see that Zealot as well. Very nice play by Wumble to put down 2 pylons. Pinna is pretty far ahead in the supply, getting his Roach Warren as well as an Evo Chamber somewhere. Yes, there's the Evo Chamber, has just finished. But Wumble has just caught up very, very quickly. He is able to produce as many units as he pleases. There's another pylon finishing, but he does still have this one. So he can do whatever he wants. These Lings are not going to stand a chance against those Zealots. And with him being able to warp in 6 at a time, that's pretty formidable indeed. And all of those pylons just ready to be warping in stuff again. 6 Stalkers this time. And it'll be very interesting to see if he can hold. These Spine Crawlers will not be up fast enough. And Zealots absolutely destroy Spine Crawlers. Zealots incredibly good against the static defense of the Zerg army. But these Stalkers should be able to go in and tear this apart. Two Spines is actually pretty significant. But the Zealots are already in the main. Roaches do very, very good damage against Zealots, of course. But the Zealots will... the micro is actually very good from Pinna, so Pinna will be able to hold relatively easily, but he's going to be reinforcing with more units, more and more and more. Of course, he is able to spawn as many units as he damn well pleases. We're not seeing him produce any more unit-producing structures. There is a lair going down here. No saturation here. Just got a Ling sitting there, no Queen. He's not opting to try to just get super macro going while he tries to hold this off, but obviously he needs to be spending all of his money. Never mind, he has 1,000 minerals. He needs to be spending as much money as he's spending on roaches. I feel like he's just going to start droning up here now. He's getting that Queen now. Very important. But if this 6-gate pressure keeps on going, he's getting armor upgrades, and he's going to continue getting upgrades behind this. So while it's just the same thing over and over in a way, he will be able to be throwing up these... throwing more and more stronger and stronger units at him. These upgrades, of course, doing so much of a difference in StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 2, the upgrades are incredibly important in all matchups, but especially for Protoss, these upgrades for these sort of, I mean, it's not really an all-in tactic, but for these really, really heavy aggression tactics, very important. He's going to be grabbing this third, so I guess we can say he's on 3.5 bases once that finishes. Oh, these roaches are going to be out too far ahead of their compatriots. They're going to be engaged before it's ideal. There's a couple of sentries in here. Not quite getting ideal force fields, but the force fields are not bad. A couple of drones engaging as well. I think that was a misclick by Pinna. He has lost 2 drones there in that engagement. Oh, very good for him. TdgWumBeL is going to continue putting on the pressure, but he's not able to really do much in the way of pushing up this ramp. 2 Spine Crawlers with this many roaches behind it is plenty to hold. He's going to go and look for this, though, and he will be able to take out that expansion, just sort of running by those roaches. He'll be able to take those out. This one is going to escape with 18 health, though. His base looks like it is ready to go down. He's not going to focus down the drones. Actually, he is. Nope, he's going to focus down the hatchery. And there goes an important part of Pinna's infrastructure. Meanwhile, Wumble is going to grab his third, while Pinna's Spire is almost done. We're not seeing any more gateways thrown down. There is a changeling in this base, which will see everything that's going on. But there's nothing really going on that hasn't been going on for ages. This is the same sort of thing. He is going to be throwing up a double robo. Very interesting idea there. There's another base going down. Oh no, that's an in-base. That's a macro hatch. Auxiliary hatchery going down for Pinna, who is slowly falling behind in the supply. Spine Crawler's moving in. But these guys are going to pull around, and there's not very much defense here at this base. There's a lot of drones. That's far too oversaturated here. If he pulls in right now, this will be a fantastic hit. The Overlord will see them coming. The roaches will have to be pulled over there, but the roaches are not moving. There's just a Queen moving over there, and they will be able to snipe this very, very easily. Oh, that's not going to be good. This Nexus is up. Nothing's really happening there, but the force fields, oh, brilliant force fields. Roaches not allowed in here. You can't get in. You aren't allowed in here. Now he's going to be able to snipe them off. Roach is not being able to get a good engage at all. He's going to lose a fair few Zealots and Sentries, though. That was a very, very bad misclick by him. And once again, he just had Zealots running straight into the Roaches. Pretty bad misclick by TdgWumBeL, but he definitely got the better of that. Pinna's going to be throwing up his hatchery right away again, but that's definitely a lot of lost minerals and a lot of lost mining time. Reinforcing with more Stalkers. Stalkers, of course, do very, very well against Roaches, and it's 1-1 against 0-0. Oh, the sentries are left in the front. That's a lot of gas that he lost right there. Oh, that's painful, and TdgWumBeL is going to be forced to retreat. And these Roaches, I feel like he could win this engagement if he just engaged because of the upgrade advantage, but he is, in fact, just going to retreat and be satisfied with his 3 bases. He's got a couple of Immortals on the field. Immortals, of course, incredibly good against Roaches. Even if you just have a massive gateway ball, if you just throw in 3 or 4 Immortals, you can take out as many Roaches as you damn well please. Massive saturation over here. Looking at the workers, 76 to 58. TdgWumBeL has a massive worker lead, and that will mean a lot as this game progresses. The Zerg, of course, always wanting to be 1 base ahead, always wanting to have more workers, always wanting to have the better economy. Because that's the Zerg way of playing. You have a better economy, you produce weaker units, but you produce the units faster and en masse. Pinna is going to be grabbing that 4th base again, but this base has just come up. And that early aggression, the taking out of those 2 expansions by Wumble, may end up dictating the way the rest of this game goes. Really, really well played. There is a Twilight Council on the way up. And he's not added on any more gateways, but this Twilight Council could mean many things. This could mean Blink. I think it may mean Blink. Blink Stalker. With that many Stalkers, Blink would be a very good investment. Or it could mean DTs. DTs are something that Zerg are not exactly the best at dealing with when they're on multiple bases. For the most part, there are of course a couple Zergs who are amazing at it, but we're not seeing any utilization of that Twilight Council just yet. Tunneling Claws and level 2 weapon upgrades are on the way for the Zerg, though. And he's really trying to spread that creep, really trying to increase his vision, really trying to be able to do a lot. These Mutalisks look like they engaged somewhere, but these, they must have engaged here. These Stalkers were able to hold that off with relative ease. This Overseer noting that there is nothing here, but this huge ball is going to be coming right here, and this Roach ball will not be able to do well against this many Immortals. 4 Immortals. A huge number of Immortals for this. He's going to be able to force field. Not so helpful for this in its own, but no reinforcements will be able to get in, and those Immortals are absolutely tearing those Roaches apart. Only 1 Immortal has been focused down, and with that recent buff on the Immortal range, they just do so much damage, and they are able to hit so easily. But he's going to be losing a lot of those sentries again. He's down to just 1 sentry. His sentry micro has just been really, really careless. He's been losing a lot of sentries. That's a lot of gas down the drain. He's going to try to push up the ramp here, but that's not exactly the engagement that he wants to get. The Roach is reinforced, and he will be trying to get away with as much of his army intact as he can, but there is a lot of stuff being sniped. A reinforcement with a 4th Immortal, as well as a bunch more Stalkers, going to be able to fend them off for now. A 4th base is also coming down for TdgWumBeL, who is not interested in taking this crappy little 3rd. Putting up a bunch of pylons here to prevent, I would say to prevent being supply blocked, but he's already almost capped, but okay, he's putting up pylons. Wumble's macro has been absolutely flawless. Take a look at his money right now. He's got he's low on money. The one thing that he could be doing a little more of is chronoing. He's got a lot of probes here, not really doing anything, not mining from as much as they should be. A lot of oversaturation here. Not enough saturation here whatsoever. Saturation's been an issue for him, and spending that chrono boost, but otherwise everything seems to have been going really, really well for him. Looks like I missed another little engagement there, but the Stalkers, of course, especially with that 1-1 upgrade, are able to do a lot of damage to those 0-0 Mutalisks. 0-1 Mutalisks, sorry. Interesting. Pinna is going for another expansion. His 5th base right here, which is right next to TdgWumBeL's up here. I don't think he's seen that. Neither player has seen the other's base over in that area. This could be interesting to see how this plays out. Pinna's macro is slipping a little bit. He has quite a few minerals here, but he's not really spending them as fast as Wumble is. Both players nearing the point where they are maxed. We are going to be seeing Blink coming out of that Twilight Council. Still not mainarding these drones anywhere, despite this expansion being finished. There is an engagement here, though. The Roaches, of course, that's a lot of Immortals. 5 Immortals able to tear this army up to pieces just immediately. And the Roaches are doing well, but just not well enough. 1-1 versus 2-2. The upgrades are fairly even, and the Immortals just absolutely shredding this army. The Roaches go down. The question, though, is if this is enough to really push up here. I don't think it is. The Roaches are reinforcing too fast. He will try to push up, though. The 2 Spine Crawlers, of course, are going to do a lot of damage, but one goes down, the other goes down, the Spine Crawlers are down, and that will be a very, very big loss for Pinna. Pinna is going to be pinning his opponent in here. These Immortals are going to be able to do tons and tons of damage, but they're not in a position where they can really avoid being focus fired. Oh, the roaches are going to go down so fast. He doesn't even kill a single Immortal. This one getting pretty low on health. Easy to snipe, but he's not going to snipe it. And he's just going to absolutely destroy. This natural is going to be an incredibly important loss. Oh, he loses the natural, and Pinna's at a huge disadvantage right now. He's not securing this base, really. Mutalisk's moving in to try to grab this, to try to take out this army. That might be enough Mutalisks just because Immortals can't shoot up. And if they can focus down those Stalkers, he should be able to hold this, but he has lost this base, and that is incredibly important here. It looks like Pinna will hold. But of course, one of the absolutely most important things about this game to notice is that while Pinna is successfully holding, he's holding very, very well. Like, he's doing very well as far as staying alive goes, but he really hasn't been putting on any pressure. He's been just sort of on the defensive the entire time, and as a Zerg, you can't just let your Protoss macro up to 4 bases. Mining really, really well. This base is just getting saturated. He's got a lot of ability to warp this in. He's seen this expansion. This expansion will be gone momentarily. Interesting choice getting sentries to take it down, but he does have a lot of gas. Ooh, he's going to be... Oh, it's a lot of drones that are just going to run into the meat grinder of those sentries with their little tickle tentacles, doing not very much damage, but... Ooh, the Mutalisks are going to fly in. That's getting to a pretty high count of Mutalisks. He might be able to start putting on some harassment of his own. Only enough money to warp in 3 Stalkers, though. While TdgWumBeL has had a bit of the advantage this entire game, he's getting to the point where he just doesn't have the minerals. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, because as we see, Pinna has minerals here, Pinna has minerals here, Pinna has minerals here. And TdgWumBeL GG's out! I feel like that was a little bit premature. But, of course, Wumble attacking, and eventually just mining out of these bases until there was not left for him to mine out. Very well played by Pinna on the defensive, but I do feel like Wumble wasn't quite out of that game just yet. Anyway, we will be going into Game 3 just right about now. I'm Penguin, and thank you for tuning in.